Hello and welcome to Chuck's Diecast Car and Model Reviews. Today we are taking a look at a model of the Lotus 99T as made by AutoArt in 1/18th scale. This is a really very nice model here, and I really like the Formula One cars of this era, you know, the late 80s, early 90s. This is really, in my opinion, the best looking era of Formula One cars, and this Lotus itself is a very, very handsome car. You may have seen another one of my videos of a Mini Champs 1/12 scale model of the Lotus 97T, which looks very similar to this one, except it's in the black John Player's special livery. The major difference between the two, however, is that this one, as you can see here, is powered by Honda. The 97T was powered by a Renault engine, both of them twin turbocharged V6s, but also this one, of course, has the yellow color, which is actually when the team was sponsored by Camel cigarettes, although it doesn't have the badging on there for Camel, you know, for legal reasons, basically. But I think this is actually a very good model. So this is a model of the 99T, is driven by Ayrton Senna, which drove at the Japanese Grand Prix in 1987. And Senna did win this race, and in fact that was the last race that the Lotus team ever won. It was still a heck of a car. I mean, it finished third in the championship. Senna had 2 wins, and then there were a total of 6 other podiums for the team that year as well, but that, as I said, was sufficient only for third in the championship. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this model here, okay? First of all, let's take a look at what comes with the model. Of course, you've got the little certificate of authenticity here. You have a little bio of the car itself, which, as you can see here, explains the story of the 99T. And then there's also some instructions on here as well. So yeah, let's take a look at this model here. This is a very well done model. Paint looks terrific, as you can see here. The decals and the livery, all is very, very excellent, very flat, very well done. So you can't see any, you know, decal lines or anything of that sort. I mean, you can see, let's see where it says Micromax. There's nothing there. So it looks very, very good. Detailing here on the wheels is very nice too. You can see the Goodyear Eagle branding. You can see the nice detail on the wheels, including the OZ badging for the wheels. So all of that looks quite excellent. Taking a look at the front here, you can see that first the wing elements are separated from each other here and here, so that looks very good. And also you can see here that there's this cable here at the rear which has come loose, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. But this cable here is kind of the one, I think, failing of this model. It's just too loose. I believe it's actually supposed to be there under tension to keep the rear wing from flexing backwards at speed, but it's just too long. So I don't know how I'm going to rectify that, but I'd certainly like to get that to look a little bit better. You can see here, nice detailing here on the exit for the radiator. You take a look at the back here, and you can see some, the very rather primitive aerodynamics for the extractor here, which is why, although these cars had 900 horsepower and weighed, substantially less than a modern Formula One car, they're still slower. I mean, they just didn't have the knowledge of aerodynamics that they do now. But you can see all that back here, which is nice. There's the rain light. You can see, of course, the details of the suspension arms and the drive shafts and everything back there. So that all looks very good. But, really the reason why I got this model, because this is a rarity here in modern Formula One models, is the fact that this one does have removable bodywork. Okay, and the detailing here is really, really great. So let me go ahead and pull this off here. This will take a second because it's kind of tight at the nose here. And by the way, the model comes with these two little sort of sawhorses that you can use to put the bodywork on. This will probably be the last time I ever use this, but there you go. See, it goes right there. So, yeah, take a look at this. I mean, this is great. Modern Formula One cars don't have a removable section here in the front because this is all one piece, and it just has access holes for things. So there's no aerodynamic shell over the actual bodywork. So that's kind of neat to see this here. You can see all this detailing here up front, the riveting, carbon fiber texture. I like how they have the Lotus badging even underneath the aerodynamic fairing, so when they take it off you can see the branding there. And there's the of course the radiator here. You can see the intercooler here for the turbos. There's the turbo coming out of the exhaust, and of course the Honda engine, which all looks great here. There's the pop-off valve for the turbo, and notice that it does not have a top-mounted or intake behind the driver's head. There's the intake for the engine air at each turbocharger, of course. Okay, taking a look at the rear suspension here, you can see, the suspension arms. You can see even underneath the wing there's a transmission cooler. Everything in there is really, really great detail. I mean, I think this is very well done. And that's why I got it. Here you can see the cockpit interior, and of course, again, very well done. The seat belts are not fabric, they're plastic, but at least, they look pretty decent. They're not too plasticky looking, and they do have, metal buckles on there for the seat belts there too, as you can see there at the bottom of the seat there as well. And you've got here the steering wheel, which, as typical for a car back then, it really did not have much on there. Just, I imagine, a button there for the radio, maybe a button for the drinks bottle, and probably like an engine shutoff button as well. And there's no instruments on the wheel. Of course, there's an actual dashboard behind the steering wheel. So that's very interesting. And notice to the right there is also a shift lever. It's hard to see, but it is there. This is back in the day of the manual transmission. And this was sort of heading towards the apex of Formula One technology as well. I mean, this car did have an active suspension. This was in the early days, so it wasn't the most efficient. And it took a few years, of course, for Williams to basically perfect it and basically become the juggernaut that they were for a few years there in the early 90s. But as for this car, as I said, I really do like this model. It's an excellent model. It's really not that expensive for what you get. I think I paid about $200 for this. So go on eBay and find this, because I certainly do highly recommend it. So anyway, that is my review of this car for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if so, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Have yourself a great day.